My senior year, Father Ken Roberts came again into my life. He came to Bloomington. He was giving a mission at St. Charles Borromeo Catholic Church on the edge of campus, and I went and listened to him, and there was a night he said that they were going to have adoration and benediction. I had no idea what adoration or benediction was. No clue. So I'm watching him. He puts on this cope. I see him put this strange instrument on the altar that's shaped like a cross but with like a sunburst. And I'm like, no clue what this is. He goes to the tabernacle, and I knew that that's where they kept the Eucharist. And he pulls the host out and he puts it into the monstrance. And everybody goes on their knees, and I get on my knees. And then it hit me. The Lord didn't say anything to me, but it hit me. This is real. That's him. That's our Lord. And it was the funniest sensation of joy and regret. Joy that what the Catholics believe is true. Regret that it took me so long to get there. And that I willfully disbelieved and tried to take people away from that, not with a bad intention, but I missed it, and I stayed on my knees that whole hour, and then the benediction was given. Never seen a benediction, but I thought this is good, and it was then that I began to really pay attention at Mass. And to start kind of delving into what was going on in the Mass. And I started going to daily Mass then in RCIA. I went to confession during the RCIA process and had an incredible experience with that, and began to go to confession regularly and to see the benefits of that. Then I was brought into the church 2 weeks before I graduated college. And my family, I told them at Christmas, I wasn't sure when I was going to tell them, but we were having Christmas dinner at my parents' house, and this was my family, my grandparents were there, and my grandmother asked me at the dinner table, so what's going on at Sherwood Oaks Christian Church? And I thought, oh no, here it comes. Because I hadn't told my parents, I hadn't told my siblings, I'd told nobody that I was coming into the church. I hadn't even told my roommates yet in college at this point. And I said, well, Grandma, I'm not going to church there anymore. And I'm like, give me more mashed potatoes. Let's see if I can let's get her off the conversation. She said, well, where are you going to church? And I said, St. Charles Borromeo. And I remember she put down her fork and she looked at me and she said, that sounds like a Catholic church. Parents kind of look up. Everybody's looking at me, and I said, it is. And she said, are you joining the Catholic Church? And I said, yes, Grandma, I'm joining the Catholic Church. And I thought her head was going to pop off. She couldn't believe it. And she wasn't nasty or harsh with me, but it's like I had just driven a nail into her heart. And she went out, she put me on every Methodist and Baptist prayer chain in central Indiana the next day to get these people praying for a grandson. My parents took it in stride at the dinner table, but sat me down later and wanted to know what was going on. And, where's my life going and what am I doing? And wasn't what we raised you with good enough? Those sort of questions. And for them, it wasn't a theological thing. It was cultural.
Right.
Their struggle was
rejection of everything that they believed in.
Right. Right. And they didn't have a problem with Catholicism per se, except that it's not what they raised me with. And I think they took it a little personally. But they came around and just sort of accepted this as one of those things that one of their kids was doing that they would not have chosen for me, but there it is. It was a much harder blow for them when I told them I was going to go into the seminary. That was even tougher for them. But
Did that come soon then after coming in?
Well,
it already started, or
it was funny. The week after I came into the church, which was the week before I graduated college, I went to Mass with some friends. I'm like, okay, I'm Catholic. I can receive communion now. I was excited. And so we go to church, we go through the introductory rites, we go through the readings, and the priest begins giving the homily. And it was like his voice drowned out, and our Lord was speaking again. Timothy, I want you to be my priest. And I don't remember a word of that homily. I don't think I heard a word of it. And with it just came this anxiety. And once again, to my shame, I told the Lord, no. It hurt so much to become Catholic. And because kids I knew at college turned away from me, would have nothing to do with me anymore. And there was a price to pay. There was a price to pay in becoming Catholic. And I said no. And graduated the next week, went out into the world, worked, and then Father Ken Roberts came back into my life